Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? Can you guys hear me? What's up, Maiden? The entry model is. You should know what the entry model is. Join the course, and you'll find out what the entry model is. It's very straightforward. It's super mechanical, but yeah. I also use my indicators to help me with the entry model, so it kind of basically auto alerts me when my entry model presents itself. My indicators, so I can just basically kind of just wait for the indicators to give me alert as well, and then take the trade. But I usually like to just view it myself. But the alerts or the indicators I have that I'm coded with my strategy, they do just help me assist. Just makes things a little bit easier. But yeah, what's up, new? Oh, you said you're new. Nice. I don't know why I said what's up, new. Like saying I'm new, like that's your name. You're new. Cool, cool, cool. Nice, man. But yeah, today these are trades I took today. We had 3 winning trades. I had a -1 here. I got wicked out on the gold trade. Like this is so dumb, right? Y'all agree with me? This is dumb. I got wicked out here. So, but I do have a system that I teach in a course as well, where you can actually avoid this wick out here. So I'll probably be implementing that strategy very soon in my own trading. So I don't get wicked out early like that, because those wick outs, if you guys trade, those suck. Like that's like one of the worst things to just be in. It's just like, come on, I got the direction right, I got everything right. Drawing liquidity is like to the T perfect. I sent this out even to the course members too, of my drawing liquidity for gold, and it hit to the T. We had one of our course members today, and he caught the gold longs with me. He caught this one. I actually break even on this trade. Main reason was just because we have a small range here. I was thinking because this PY is so close, we could actually come back to mitigate that, and my stop loss is above that. So unfortunately, it hit me out break even. But for the most part, most times I wouldn't break even. Today, made a mistake. I went break even. Didn't really follow my exact plan here. I shouldn't have went break even. I should have just let it run, but it's okay, because one of our course members, Brian, in a Discord, he caught the gold longs here, all the way up here, I believe. So super nice. I'm glad that he was able to catch the gold longs, because these played out, bro. If you took the gold longs when I called it out in the Discord for Discord course members, it played out. And then we also had ES. ES, I took a break even here. This is the second break even today, y'all, where I took a break even instead of TPing. I would have been up hella money today. Because this is already, what, 5, 6, 10, and then -1 here. So I'm up 9 risk reward today, but I would have been up 11. And then, dude, I would have been up 16 risk reward today. Here, let me put the Discord link as well for those that want to join the free Discord if you're new, because I know not everyone here is a subscriber. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, put on notifications so you guys don't miss future streams, because I do give calls and such once in a while on stream. You guys can really copy them and make free money, because so far my record on stream, I think it's about like a 75% win rate, and we've been banging trade after trade. Yesterday we had 2 winners and 1 loser, but we still made full reward yesterday on yesterday's stream. And in Asia session, I caught a massive 5-hour winner that I called out for free on YouTube. So you guys can go back and watch those streams. I know they may be kind of boring because they're like super long streams, like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours usually, but you don't have to sit through the whole thing. You can just kind of go back and, check my trade idea, things of that nature, and compare it to your own trades. But for those that just joined, man, I have the link to my course as well as the free Discord, so you guys can hop in there and learn basically how I trade, because I think my strategy from my years of experience is the best out of any strategy online. There's no other strategy that I've ever found out from my years of trading that outperforms my current one. That's why I've been sticking to this strategy, and I've been teaching it since, basically. But the prices for everything are increasing as well. So just to let you guys know, the price is currently, it's at $699 for the course, and then I plan on increasing it later on when we get a few more members in here. I want to keep the group exclusive, and I know the value that is put within a course, so I'm not going to undervalue the stuff I teach, because you can easily make back the money that you put into the course literally within your first day of trading. Even if you just take the signals or the call outs, or I don't want to call it signals, but trade ideas and call outs that I given for free on YouTube here, you would have paid for the course basically multiple times. maybe even the mentorship, which is 101. I'm gonna have my camera on here, guys, in a bit. I'm trying to just set up the lighting, everything right now. So there's that. But how did everyone else see your trade today? How did everyone else see your trade today? Hopefully you guys all ended green. Today was basically, the rest of the day was just a straight trend day. I was able to avoid this knowing my strategy system tells me. Basically there's no PYs really I'm looking for on the left. And it's just dead space. It's just a gap. So for the most part, since this is the gap, there's nothing here. There's no trades for me here later on the day. You could have taken some trades if you want to. I can see my entry model is playing out here with my model going longs. But like I said, I was already satisfied for a day, up a lot today. So just going to kind of call it here unless I see something very clear to take. But so far, again, for those that just joined, -1, break even, +1, 4 sword, 5 sword, and then it had a break even on ES. I closed out break even because we had a SMT with NQ there. But it later went up. It broke the SMT. So I kind of mismanaged my trades today, honestly. I didn't follow my plan with gold. I should have let set and forget like I usually trade. And then same thing for ES. The reason why I broke even here was because we were so close to PY right below. I was anticipating if we do come back and mitigate the OB entry model, I can get an entry off there. So I just kind of went break even there. There's obviously logical reasonings to why I went break even, but they weren't like very good logical reasons, right? It was just a low confluence kind of thing. So unfortunate, but again, 16 risk reward, 9 risk reward, better than 0 risk reward or being red on day. Again, for those that just joined, check out the free Discord. I have streamed elements, post a link so you guys can check that out. I'll be back in like 1 minute. All right, we got 7 people watching right now. Go over the trades briefly later once we get more people on here. So I can go over trades. People can ask questions. But let me see if I can get my camera on here. All right, y'all, we are live. What's up, Mike Colis? How's it going? I don't know if you said your name right, but it sounds like you do have a foreign name. Dude, it's so interesting. on seeing like the demographics of like my YouTube channel. For those that don't know, I'm from the US, but like half of the course members are not from the US. It's like half the course members that are in our group right now in the ETU team, they're from like foreign countries. We have someone from South Korea. We got people from Germany. There's someone from France. Like, it's crazy. It's honestly kind of crazy. The power of the internet. Alright, let me turn on the brightness of the ring light here. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna turn this thing down, bro. I can't be doing this. It's so bright. Slovakia. Yeah, man, we got people from everywhere. It's crazy. But yeah, for those that just joined, trades taken today, man, here. Alright, NQ, gold, ES here. 2 break-evens today that should have been winners, man. So today, in terms of win rate, it's 3 wins and 1 loss. So 75% win rate for me here today. And then also trading high risk reward, except for this one. This was just a scalp here. And the course members know why usually we scalp these. And then we take the second manipulation for a bigger move. So I talked about this in the course. You just have to rewatch the videos for those that paid for the course, and you'll understand why I chose decisions I chose today. But nonetheless, so far, still looking to see if there is potential for more trade. We are basically like on NQ, like where price is trying to go is these highs. Like this is basically the target here. And then on ES, we're just in a massive gap. So you guys see this on ES, we're just in a massive gap. We're not going to hit ES highs today. All right, we're not going to hit ES highs today, but we are just in this massive imbalance here, and imbalances get filled. So it is kind of risky to be continually long after all this. But at the same time, it's also risky to take shorts because the trend is super strong today. Today, I was luckily able to catch a short. One is a scalp, which is okay. You can scalp counter trend and still make money. And then the forest reward, I called this trade out to the Discord. So I at least sent it to Discord saying that this was my TP for this trade here. And then my inducement got moved over here because of how I teach it in the course with inducement. And we TP'd there. And it was literally a sniper TP. I literally exited sniper price right here. And then I missed a long here, which is part of my strategy as well. I missed this just because I was texting to the course members. So kind of missed that, not gonna lie, but it's all good. How do you pick the right IFEG or overall FEGs? I don't trade FEGs. I trade OBs. And then if you're talking about IFEGs, I go over that in the course on how to filter the right ones, because there's IFEGs you don't want to be taking. They have a very low win rate. So I avoid all the very low win rate IFEGs, and I only take the highest probability IFEGs, which is what I teach in the course. It's a mechanical definition of how I define my IFEGs. I also do have an indicator that I coded, custom coded, that filters the sizing, 50% calculation. You have IFEG, FEG mode. I don't use FEG mode because I don't trade fair value gaps. But yeah, I usually have it just on the IFEG mode just for that reason. But yeah, those are my indicators for those that are interested. The indicator package is still available right now. It's just monthly payments, or if you want to get this one time, you can get it at 2. I'm offering that lifetime one-time payment. You get access to all the indicators I use every single day. I don't use any other indicators outside of indicators I personally coded just because they don't apply to my strategy, so it doesn't matter to me. The way I code mine, they have their own built-in filtering system in the indicators. So it basically what I teach, it filters it for you automatically, so you can get rid of bad trades. So that's how I usually have them set. Like some people will pick bad POIs, bad supplier demand zones, whatever you want to call them. But the indicator filters them out for you, so you don't have to worry about taking bad ones. And then you can just do a bit more manual filtering if you like, to go higher. But yeah, basically today, like I said, we had trades from yesterday too. I think I told this on the other stream yesterday. These are the streams, or these are the 3 trades we took on stream yesterday, called out live. So if you check out yesterday's live stream, these are the 3 trades I called out live. We had a 2 restore, 3 restore, and a -1 here. It basically got kind of got stopped out here early, but that's okay. But these are the 3 trades I called out live, literally to the tick. Kid you not, the TP hit to the tick right here. So that's just the power of my trading system. And then also I called out the draw and liquidity higher here after all the sweep and the structure marking and everything on live. So if you just want to go check that trade out, you can just go live and you can check it out. And then on gold, we had a break even. I had a break even here today. One of our course members, he caught the whole move off this. I went break even a bit too early, so I got break even on the gold long. And then I got wicked out down here, but I'm going to implement my stop loss method, which I taught the course members recently. I posted about like 2 weeks ago, but I'm going to be implementing that stop loss method so I can avoid actually getting faked out here next time. And then we had a break even on ES, closed out early because of SMT, but again, kind of broke my rules in a sense where my draw was still higher and ES was still going for the high anyway. And so I kind of messed up there. But yeah, this was a trading day here, man, today. And let me get the, well, let me see if I can get the brightness up here, because the camera's a little dark. It should be brighter now. And I'm gonna change the color. Let's see if that changes anything there. What's y'all's favorite color? I don't think the red looks good. What the? Why did one of them change? That was weird. Oh, I'm gonna have it at the blue. That's my typically go-to. So I have it on the blue setting here. Bring down the ring light here. Should make it a little bit brighter. But yeah, these were trades taken today, man. How'd you guys trade? You guys end green today? I hope you guys ended green today. It was good setups today. That if you just follow my system, you would have caught all these trades. Because this is 100% mechanical. This is 100% mechanical. This is also 100% mechanical. Like, I don't think there's any discretion here. The only trade that might be discretion is this one. But I helped you guys in the Discord for those that pay for the course, because I literally told you guys price is going to go for this high. Like 99% chance price is going to go for that high. That was my high time frame draw liquidity that I literally called out in the Discord ahead of time. So you would actually be trading this mechanical here as well. Got home late and did not take any trades. All good, Ali. All good. All good. There's always opportunity. Another day. Another day, another dollar. But man, I can't believe I got stopped out on gold. That's crazy. You see how trade management is also important, right? Like, if I managed this trade better, it would have been a 5 restore, 6 restore TP. And gold is just continuing higher here. If you're someone that's trading for value gaps, you'd be losing here because you'd be shorting all this. And I teach in a course you should not be shorting all this and how to avoid all this. Because once I see something like this for an hour using time theory that I teach in a course, you shouldn't really be taking trades here. At least not reversals. Because you want to go to the higher time frame, right? If you go to the higher time frame, we really took out previous day low. So if you imagine this is a daily candle, right? The daily candle today, we wicked the low, and then now we're likely expanding potentially to the top. which previous day low, previous day high. Okay, previous day high already got taken out, but I think we're going to be reaching London session high. It's not going to be during today. It might be during Asia session. Asia session gets good volume on gold, so we might hit there and then we go up here. Because remember, price is fractal, and I'm just viewing price fractally here. Oh, dude, there's a imposter here. I gotta ban this man, bro. There's a dude I gotta ban here. There's so many fake accounts of me on Discord. It's crazy. Sarusan said, that's literally how I seen it. That's why I logged on GC1. Yes, sir. Sarusan is one of our course members, and he was the one I was talking about that took the gold longs that I called out as well in the Discord. So glad to see he also took the trade. Even without me, if you're able to spot that the draw liquidity is higher, then you're doing good, man. You're learning very well right now. So I'm happy that you guys are progressing in the course. Yeah, friend requests almost every day, dude. Dude. One time, one of the bots sent me a friend request, and I'm just like, huh? Like, there's no way you sent me a friend request. Like, what? J Trade sending a friend request to J Trades. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. All right, let me see if I can get bros. I need to fix my cable. I mean, I've been working my cable management recently, but it's still a little bit messy. But yeah, you guys can see, right, how I'm able to use what I teach in the course and avoid all this. Now, I'm not saying there's bad trades or good trades here. It's just like if you're trying to take reversals, you're only going to be going for scalps, right? So something like this, like I would only be scalping up here. So yeah, there's a good scalp here. There's also a good scalp here to the downside with the models I teach in the course, right? Now, like I said, we're in a massive gap on the left side on the higher time frame on ES. So when we have stuff like that, we tend to have internal continuations to fill it. So you can see how this is consolidation here, right? And we have consolidation, we tend to get big expansion moves. And this is just an internal expansion right here on a 1 minute. Now, if you just switch time frames, this is literally also an internal continuation on the higher time frame. So you don't want to be counter trending. But you can see the reason why I counter trended here was we had confluences, which what I teach in the course, right? We have manipulation and confluences here. So that's why this short was okay. If you took this short with me as well, that is completely okay. This is a solid trade here. This is still probably, I'd say this is a B plus setup, maybe even A, even though it's counter trend because liquidity manipulation. We have a clear target of inducement that literally called out to the Discord ahead of time here, guys. And then we had a clear exit. So we had a lot of other confluences along with this short, right? I don't blindly short when the market breaks highs or going with blindly long when the market breaks lows. That's not how you should be trading. You always need some type of model at least, or confluence or context in your trading, which is what I teach in a course. But let's see. Oh, I forgot to add this stream element overlays again. Whoops. Dude, it's actually insane, man. We're about to reach all-time highs soon here, y'all. We are not that far away from all-time highs. We are really not, bro. This is all-time highs right here, guys. We are not even 1%. Not even a percent away from all-time highs. That is crazy to say, knowing that we had a 20% plus drop. 25% drop. And you guys know what happens when last time we had this big massive 25% drop was basically COVID. COVID I believe it was a 28% drop, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, this is basically almost equivalent to the drop on COVID, and we recovered. This is a record, I think, right here. And COVID, we recovered the entire market to all-time highs, I believe, in 6 months. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But right now, it's only been 3 months. Not even 3 months, and we're about to hit all-time highs. Like we're gonna hit all-time highs, dude. We're probably gonna hit this high here today, guys. I drew this high time from liquidity point earlier in the day as my target, and dude, we might actually just go for that. Now, I'm not gonna tell you guys to gamble and just take a long right now, but it is taking a long right now is better than trying anything going short. That's all I'm gonna say. But again, I try to trade my system and not take gambles, even though something is this clear. You can, again, if you want to. Not financial advice, but the draw is pretty damn clear for me here. But if you were to long here, like randomly, you would need a wide stop, something like this, right? To protect yourself if we do get a mitigation cycle. But yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. Market's been going wild. Look at ES. I think we're close. Are we closer on ES to all-time highs? I don't think so. ES is 2% away. And NQ moves more than ES. So ES is lagging behind a little bit in terms of strength. But nonetheless, dude, this is crazy. I hope you guys had a long-term account. If you guys don't, you missed out on the dip. I literally opened up a long-term account when the market dumped here. So when Trump was doing all tariffs and talk and all that, that was when I opened a long-term account and then basically put in more money there. And then I bought around down here. So my first entry was here. So my first entry here was here, right, from a long-term account. And then I just added in at this break. And then I added in, I believe it was over here. So yes, my averages did end up averaging up to around here, but this is still a good entry point, right? If you look at the overall picture, it's still a good entry point. It's the same price as someone that bought in 2024. So to me, it was a good average on my long-term account, but dude, I'm up a lot on my long-term. Now, it's not going to give me the same returns as day trading, right? My strategy can provide me much more returns, but you got to think of it in terms of this. Time is valuable, right? And I'm able to, for long-term trading or long-term investing, there's one big thing that distinguishes that has a pro that short-term, any type of short-term scalping day trading cannot achieve. And that is passive income, right? And long-term investing, you literally don't need to do anything. You just need to find a buying point. Now, obviously, if you're buying specific companies, that's a whole different topic for another day. But I'm talking about the overall market. So ETFs, S&P 500, NQ, NASDAQ, right? Those are the main big ones, ETFs. If you just buy an ETF and just hold, you will come out green at some point. You just have to hold through drawdown, right? Because like, for example, if you bought in 2024, you definitely had to hold through all that drawdown when Trump was doing the tariff situation. But everything so far in terms of tariff situation, from my perspective at least, and at least what the market is telling me, that it's looking good, right? Countries are folding fundamentally, and the U.S. brought in a ton of new money from the tariffs recently. It was actually, I think, 2 days ago or something. So it's very recent. Market's pumping. Now, in terms of the job market, that's a different situation. Just because the market goes up, that doesn't mean jobs will go up or employment increases or unemployment rate decreases. That's usually not how the correlation works. It's not a direct one-on-one correlation with the job market. So I can't speak for the job market. And also, I don't have a job. I lead trade. Trading is literally my job. So to me, whatever happens with the job market, no offense to y'all that have a job, but it doesn't affect me. Hence why I like to teach you guys to trade, learn my strategy, get the course, get the mentorship, get the indicators, do everything you can in your own power to go full-time trading, because you get the flexibility and power to basically anything that happens economically does not affect you. Because if the market's tanking, that's affecting everyone with 401ks, people with savings, people that have stocks, doing long-term accounts. That doesn't affect me at all. Now it does, since I have a long-term account as well on the side. But my main account still is day trading and my main income is still day trading. And so I'm able to just short as well. You know, if the market tanks, I can make money going short. And it's very easy because you guys know the market dumps faster than it pumps. And that is just based on 100% psychological reasons. If you guys think about it, there's people are a lot more greedy than or people are a lot more fearful than greedy, right? Like for example, if you're in a position, people get a lot more scared if they see red candles or the market dumping. So they would probably exit and sell out of their position much quicker than if the market was pumping. I'm in buys on gold for the 5-minute PY, Chris. I forgot. Chris, who are you again? No offense, I just completely forgot. Are you... Yeah, no, I can't. I try to associate everyone's YouTube name with the Discord server. But yeah, I don't remember, honestly. I guess unless if you're not in the Discord, then I wouldn't know. But I think I heard your name before. 5-minute POI on gold? Oh, you're saying the 5-minute up there. Yeah. That's not a bad target. It's not bad. But it is 2 p.m. So you do have to consider if we have low volatility, low volume, we can create new value and new ranges internally. And that's up to you if you really want to hold for all that, to be honest. I close all my positions for the most part by the end of the session. Unless, okay, for a New York session, I basically close all my positions fully. For ADA session, I can hold my positions. So if we go back here, you guys can also go back to the stream. 212 drawings. Okay, I removed the trade on my chart so it doesn't lag as much on stream when I'm recording. But go back to the stream I did in ADA session. I called out a 5RR winning long trade on ES, and I just held that overnight, man. I set and forget the trade, and I literally just went to sleep. And I woke up to easy money in my pockets, 5 risk reward. But ideally, I mean, Chris, it depends on where your entry is. If your entry is down here, that's chill. If you're like entering up here, it's more risky to hold. But yeah, unfortunately, break even, man, break even. And I was looking at the trade. There's not much things I can do in terms of micromanaging this trade to not break even. Because we were so close to PY right here, I kind of got a little scared, maybe, if that's what you want to call it. So there's kind of a psychological issue here. And that basically led me to losing, or not losing, but basically losing my realized P&L that I would have realized for 6 risk reward. But anyway, nonetheless, if you guys just joined the stream, we're up 9 risk reward today. 5 risk reward, 1 and 4, and then I had -1 on gold, which, bro, literally gold cooked me today. Gold literally cooked me in terms of I literally got wicked right here. Dude, I got wicked. You guys see, this is GC1. Do you guys see this, bro? It's not one tick. Because gold, the increments are going to be a little bit bigger. In terms of the liquidity sweeps, it's going to be a few more ticks of liquidity sweeps instead of ES and NQ where it could just be 1. Because gold is more volatile. But dude, like I can't make this up, bro. I got wicked to a tick. Otherwise, dude, I would be up 6 risk reward. This would be 7. I'll be up 16 risk reward. If I didn't break even here, I'll be up 18 risk reward today, guys. If you're risking 1% per trade, that's 18% on your entire account in a single day. Trading my strategy system I teach in a course. But yeah, stuff like this happens. I'm going to change the way I manage my stop losses using a new method I taught you guys in the course and mentorship. I'm not going to 100% say it's because the market conditions is changing right now, but it could be just because I used to not get wicked out like this as often. But I've been seeing these wicks internally have been occurring a bit more recently. And I think part of the reason can be because of increased volatility. June, we have had really good volatility. So if you're losing in June, there's something wrong with you. No offense, but like actually full offense. I'm telling you the straight truth. There's something wrong with you either mentally or your strategy does not work and you need to learn something that actually has an edge and focus on your discipline because we've had great price action in June. There's no excuses to be red in June. By the end of June, if you're still red, if you're even red right now, it's already 26. We're about to end June, guys, here. If you're red on the month, there's something wrong with you. Because last month, we still ended green trading my strategy, and it was bad price action. Some traders online said it was the worst price action they've ever seen in 5 years. To me, I wouldn't say that, but I would say it was pretty damn bad. So, because we were just barcoding a lot. Especially New York session was actually worse last month than Asia and London, which is typically not the case. If you look at my optimization stream I did for 4 hours, New York session outperforms, I believe if I look in the stream, the other streams. But, you know, we can't perfect everything. So we just have to adapt a little bit by a little bit each and every single month. And one adaptation I'm going to try to do is increase my stop loss, give it just a little bit more wiggle room. There's 2 different ways I teach in the course to do this. If you guys have seen a stop loss method that I recently released it 2 weeks ago in the course, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. But even if you guys are trading for a stop loss, I always suggest you always have a hard stop loss placed in any trade, regardless if you're scalping, because you just never know what happens in the market, guys. If you're trading on a personal account like me, if the market does something like this, I can take, because I trade with high risk or with small, I'm basically risking or leveraging my position size for high risk reward. Meaning if the market does like something like this, usually just this will be based on news, but sometimes it's news that you can't predict because it's not economic news. It's like fundamental news that comes out that is from financial juice. Stuff like this can happen where you just have one massive wick here, and I could lose like 3 to 4 to 5% off a single trade. So I always recommend you guys always have a hard stop loss, even if you're trading with a stop loss. And when the strategies they teach in the course, always still have that hard stop loss somewhere, right? Even if you have at this low, that's better than none. Like, I don't know why people would have no hard stop loss at all. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because one big news event, something tragedy happens in the market, Black Swan, your account's, I want to say it's fully cooked, but it could be. What's up, Mike? Would you share your average risk on trades like 25? I mean, I talked about it a little bit, but it's low. I'll just say that my risk percent on my main account is very low on my personal. I risk a lot more on fund accounts than my personal, because fund accounts also, all you lose if you lose the account is just the initial payment and activation fee. But for personal, I take it a lot more serious the way I trade and risk manage, because it's my own money. If I'm losing money, it's directly hitting my pocket. So to me, risk management is a lot more strict on my personal. On the fund they're kind of a bit more loose, where I can double my size on A+ setups, for example. That's something you guys can do. But for my personal, for the most part, I don't do that. I just keep the same risk, and then I slowly de-risk percent over time. And then sometimes I'll obviously take out withdrawal money from my personal account for expenses and such. And also another thing you guys want to do is you want to be diversifying your money, right? I don't have all my money in my personal trading account. No matter the size of what it is, you still want to have money in other assets, making you passive income, right? There's a lot of different ways to make passive income, but there's some very common ones, right? Long-term accounts are very common. Retirement accounts are very common. So no matter how good of a trader you are, no matter what, always diversify your income. Always diversify. You can keep most of your money in your personal trading account, but still have stuff on the side just in case something happens. Let's see, what gold? Yeah, gold is just dead. It's not moving. Like I said, guys, I don't think there's going to be any really trades today for me after, because do you see this? We're just going in an uptrend for like 2 hours. So unless you're taking internal setups here, there's nothing to take. And at this point, I wouldn't even use my stop hunter setup up here, just because like we're so high up in a leg. It gets more risky the more higher price goes, and it doesn't give you that full retracement in terms of structure. So it is definitely something more risky. Like usually I don't mind you taking it here or maybe here, but once we get like up here, it's more risky. Now you have 2 things in Confluence that I would say makes it a B setup and not like a C or bad setup if you were to take internal continuation, which is the draw liquidity, which is extremely obvious. So if you have high conviction in that, feel free to take my stop hunter setup with internal continuations. But we have taken all this internal high here. Obviously these 2 highs are for sure to get run. Don't know if it's going to be today, but we still have about like an hour and a half till market closure or New York Stock Exchange closure, so you might be able to get it, but we'll see. But NQ, as you can see, is looking real strong, and the all-time high is up here. So once we take out this high, what I think would happen in the market, okay, that's not what I think, or it kind of is what I think. Based on my system, I will be looking for scalp trades. You can either scalp if you want to be safe to maintain a high win rate, or you can still look for shorts after we take out this high here, intraday. Because this is a daily high, it's a high time frame POI. If you even see, like, you see how we had a high here, and what happened when we take out these highs? We had this massive reversal here. Now I don't think anticipate we're gonna have a massive reversal here. We will have a daily, we should at least have one daily bearish candle printing here once we take out this high time frame draw on liquidity here on a daily on NASDAQ. So that will give you potential, potential trades on the intraday to take shorts, whether that's scalps or my normal setup. You can take those. But obviously you can't expect a huge retracement because at some point we have this high right here just waiting to get taken. And again, you guys know once we do actually hit all-time highs, do not try to like short everything, okay? Because this is going to be like a massive breakout. We can have a few bearish days, but I'm saying in general, I would still keep a bullish bias even if we take out the all-time highs. Because there's going to be a ton of buying up here. People are anticipating this breakout. Now, yes, that could also mean liquidity, but usually from historical pricing, when we take out all-time highs, we tend to continue higher internally on the daily. So I would still keep the daily bullish bias even if we took out all-time highs. And then my indicator also today pointed it to be daily bullish as well. So that was a confluence you could have used for your trading, today. But you can see my indicator, basically these red lines or triangles are the daily bias indicator, giving it bias every single day, fully mechanical. It's in the ETU indicator package. I call it the elite indicator package now because I like to give it a more, I don't know, it's like a cooler name, and also gave Discord roles today. So if you guys have the Discord or if you have the indicators, claim the Discord role, and there's an exclusive chat just for the people that paid for the indicators. And whether that's monthly, one time, or yearly, there is an exclusive chat for that now. So you can definitely check that out. Just go in the WAP and you should be able to claim that new role. But yeah, here's the, like, based on my daily bias on indicator on NQ recently, it's just been bullish, right? It's saying it's bullish here, bullish here, bullish here, and today's bullish as well. Again, we had some pullback days, right, where the daily bias, this thing, by the way, doesn't repaint, for those that are wondering. None of my indicators repaint. And I made sure they don't repaint, so they're very accurate. They give it real time, and they don't repaint. But yeah, you can see we had a bearish delivery here from the bearish daily bias, and then now we're going bullish again. And then the times where if you got the daily bias indicator and you're confused what the gray candles mean, it just means neutral. So it just means there's no specific direction for the daily candle expansion. So there's that. But if you haven't seen the video where I talk about fractal time frames and the nature of how fractal time frames work together, definitely watch that video out. It's in the course, and I would highly recommend everyone to watch that, just to help you logically better understand the market and how these time frames work in alignment, because they will help you a lot in terms of taking or avoiding stupid losses, or invalid losses is probably a better word. Like, for example, here, if you're just on the 1 hour, you can clearly see this is previous day low also. We sweep the low on a previous day low in 1 hour. What does this mean? When you're on a lower time frame, you ideally don't want to be shorting. Why? Because this can be the hourly internal delivery here. So on an hourly time frame, this could just be hourly internal swing delivery here to this PY above, and then all this above too. So that's why it's something you want to keep in mind. And if you just go on the 4 hour, what does this look like, guys? On the 4 hour, this is a 4 hour swing low. So on the 4 hour, if you're taking shorts internally today on gold, you're just counter trending against everything that I teach in the course. If you don't have the course, then obviously there's a reason why you're losing today. If you're trying to short, you don't know any of this stuff. But if you're thinking about people on the 4 hour that are trading, there's swing traders, there's intraday traders, there's people on the 1 minute, there's people in the seconds even trading. Even though you may not think that's a thing, there are people making money trading the seconds, okay? So there's people trading every single time frame, but it's not the time frame that you trade that really matters. It's what your data tells you, and you need to do back testing. But for example, if someone was on a 4 hour, day trader, they're looking at this as a buy opportunity. They're buying and waiting for the entry model right here, maybe even on the 15 minute, using my swing trading strategy in a course, and you'll be buying, looking for this expansion to potentially this 4 hour high, or even some PYs here. And then this on the 4 hour is inducement here. So like, if you think about it, if the draw liquidity on the higher time frame is up, you're counter trending by taking shorts. Now, there's a time and place for shorts. You can take shorts. If I remove this, you can take shorts. Like for example, once we get to the 5 minute PY here, potentially, right? You can scalp shorts when you take out liquidity. You scalp shorts. But you don't want to be going for any crazy targets, because if we go lower, it's just a mitigation cycle to go higher. And if you don't understand anything I'm saying here, you can try watching the free content on my YouTube. But for the most part, I break down everything in the 100 Sword course. So you will learn literally everything. Everything here that I'm saying right now, if you guys don't have the course, it will make sense to you. I think a lot of people that don't have the course, it's probably sounds like gibberish, doesn't make any sense. But once you get the course and go through even like the first session of it, everything I'm saying here, you can just rewatch and you'll be, oh, I completely understand that, right? It's not honestly as complicated as you may think once you have done enough backtesting yourself, when you learn enough from the course. So there's a link to the course again in the Stream Elements chat right here, the Stream Elements bot. It sent the link just now for you guys that are interested in that, and then also the free Discord if you guys just want to join and check out the community. I gotta give someone a role here real quick, actually on Discord as well. Ali. Oh, Ali asked me to give him the funding role here, or funded trader role. So we do have people funded, by the way, for those that took the course. The people that have completed like even half the course, a lot of them are funded. So I'm just right now mainly giving people the fund role. I don't have an automation system for that yet. So just DM me proof that you're funded and whatnot, and then I'll give you the role. Or I can take your word for it, you know. There's obviously no reason to lie about that. But yeah. Because later on when I release the exclusive live paid trading room, so instead of like these streams for free on YouTube, I'll be doing exclusive live paid trading where people can pay monthly to see me live trade in the Discord. I'm probably gonna go off your role, so I'm not gonna accept anyone that isn't funded, because I preferably want people to at least know how my strategy works before they join the room. Otherwise you're gonna get confused, and it's a lot of effort to try to talk through everything when price is live, because I'm trying to manage all my accounts, trying to explain the trade, how to manage the chat. And it's just too much stuff to explain everything while I'm trading live, right? So I preferably want for the paid live exclusive trading group at some point, which will probably release in a year or so from now, that people are experienced enough to at least know what my trading strategy is and what I'm looking for, so I don't have to explain like every single trade. Also, I'll explain certain things that are nuances, things of that nature. But for the most part, my strategy is fairly mechanical, so there isn't really too much to explain. Hence why I was just wondering like why people would even want to pay me to live trade, honestly, because you can take all these trades just by learning the course content by yourself without needing like any of my guidance live telling you what to do. But I understand experience also plays a role in your win rate, right? Like for example here, a lot of people will probably short to the PY here, but guess what? I shorted only to the inducement here. And I noticed with my experience on how price is delivering with momentum here, this is an impulse delivery, impulse model. Hence why you don't want to be holding trades with a lot of momentum like this for long, especially if the target's about to hit. And I've seen from my past experience where we have a very clear drawn liquidity, which is obviously way higher, that we tend to not come back necessarily to flips. We just take out inducement. And in this case, this to me looks like inducement here, right? Because the inducement was here originally, now it got replaced by this, based on what I teach in a course. You can even consider this a structural low, But mechanically, by definition, this is basically just inducement here, unless you want to consider this inducement. But to me, this is too close to the premium to be considered inducement. So that would be more so an internal sweep. So things like this can be a little bit of more of an experience-based thing. Maybe that's why people want to pay me for live trading. But if you're trying to just like copy me and make money and rely on me to pay your bills, that's not what I'm looking for in the paid trading live room. So again, just to put that out there. If you guys are also in here, make sure to leave a like on the stream. We got 17 people watching right now. Again, if you have any general questions, you can ask them away while I'm still here. And if for those wondering what the trades taken were, if you're new here, we got some pretty good amount of new people in here, I believe. Usually, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I prefer like doing these streams more than like recording YouTube videos now, because I feel like YouTube videos, they're not as interactive with the chat, with the audience. So I do prefer like these streams over doing YouTube videos, but I'll still try posting YouTube videos like at least once a week. You guys can see I have trade recaps for the most part, all the YouTube videos, some psychology videos to help you guys. I try not to make too many psychology videos on my YouTube channel, just because psychology at the end of the day just comes down to you and your discipline. There's nothing like, there's no special gimmick in improving your psychology. There's tips and advice, and I actually have some advice in a course on how to develop a professional trading mindset where you can help you with that psychology issue and also give you specific practical things you can actually practice day to day to improve your psychology. Otherwise, like someone telling you to be disciplined is like, duh, that's obvious. Like obviously you're supposed to be disciplined. Like what else are you supposed to do? Everyone knows you're supposed to be disciplined, right? Like you're obviously, you know, you're supposed to be disciplined. You know, you're just not supposed to revenge trade. You know you're not supposed to be greedy. You know you're supposed to look for conservative targets if you're counter trending. You guys know all this. It's just a matter of self-discipline. But I do have obviously practical tips and advice. If you guys have seen the psychology section in the course, I kept it fairly small, so it's not like too long. But most of the course is obviously technical stuff, going over my strategy, how I view the markets, trade recaps, tons of stuff in there. There's a lot of videos. It might seem overwhelming at first, but you're getting much more value for the amount of money you're paying investing into your future. What's up, Heiko or Hako? Bro got the Dogecoin. We got Dogecoin man joining the Discord. Again, if you guys are in the course and you just want the funded trade roll, DM me. You can either DM me proof or just tell me you're funded with the Trade My Strategy and system I teach you, and then I'll give you the funded trade roll. Because I forgot to do that for a lot of people. So just reach out, DM me if you're in a course already and you want that role. Because later on when I release the live trading room, I'm going to have it. So I'm basically only picking people that actually have at least proven to themselves they can trade my strategy first and get funded, which is like bare minimum, to be honest. But it's better than obviously someone that's brand new that doesn't know what they're doing. You want to go through all the course content first before you join me in live trade. Let's see. I wouldn't consider that high there anything meaningful. Gold, there's no point in looking at, if you're still in gold longs or something, I just close. There's no reason to, I mean, gold is dead, right? It's dead. Oh, Brian. I know Brian in the course, he took the gold longs today. Brian, how much risk reward did you make off your gold long that I called out to the group? This trade right here, the one that I broke even on that you held through. Ali said, don't copy my break-even strategies. Yeah, dude. Man, Ali, you influenced me. No, I'm just playing. It's my fault. It's my fault that I break even here today on 2 trades, right? This can easily be avoidable here to not break even. So again, it would have been up double the risk reward today if I just stuck to my plan. But yeah, kind of messed up today emotionally. But it's not a bad emotional mistake, right? It's not like I lost 3 trades in a row because I took random trades. That's a whole different emotional mistake. These are very small emotional mistakes. It's okay to have small emotional mistakes from time to time. No one's perfect. I don't execute my system like a robot to the point where I never miss a trade, never miss a setup, or basically never like take a bad setup. But in terms of limiting it, that's what you want to do. You want to limit what people call tilting. And tilting is like a poker thing, based on what I've been told. So yeah, if you have played poker before, I think trading, it might help you, honestly. Did anyone here used to play poker and thinks like used to playing poker helped you in trading at all? I just feel like the psychology thing of trading is just completely different compared to most other things. Poker may be similar because poker you're also risking money, but I don't know. I never really played poker like too in depth like that. I don't know too much about poker. I just know like some basics, but let's see if there's anything maybe on a lower time frame we can check out here to see if it's unmitigated. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna, oh, this might not show from all the way back. I have it limited with the memory thing on the indicators, but it probably won't go all the way back here. This is quite far back. My chart might not even show it price, honestly, this far back. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna show. Nope, it doesn't show. So I can't even look for you. Okay, so you can't even. I have TradingView Premium, guys, for if you're wondering. So I can look back the most number of bars available, and I can't find anything on the lower time frame this far back. Only the 15-minute can show up in terms of number of bars. So like, let's see what this is. If we just move this to the right. Usually I have my indicator do all this, by the way, guys, but I'm just gonna draw it just for the stream because the indicator is not gonna be able to go this far back because it's probably gonna run out of the memories or memory limit that I have set out here. That's just for performance issues, so you guys don't lag. You know, I keep y'all in lock. So we hit a 50. Oh, we did hit a 15-minute. That's probably the lowest I can go to here. But you can see, like, even if we hit the 15-minute, you got to trade here off the 15-minute right here, right? Again, like I said, scalping, right? Not looking for big trades. You're scalping shorts here. So there's a winner right there with my strategy. There's also a winner again, even after we did a sweep in here inside the 15-minute here. So this could have been easily 2 other wins you guys could have caught today. Later. But obviously, again, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to cash every trade. I like to focus on the high probability setups, which are initial entries down here. This is the best setup of the day here today. This is literally A plus 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 plus. There's nothing better than this setup here, right? The only thing that a little bit about the setup that was a little iffy was that basically we didn't have an impulse delivery here. So if we had an impulse delivery here, it would be like A plus times 10. But everything here is fully mitigated, so you can use that as confluence. It was just, maybe you can say, a tiny bit choppy, but it was a clear target, clear entry. But yeah, we've disrespected this 15-minute, and we're probably going to go to the other 15-minute above. But in a sense, again, scalping shorts is okay. You just don't want to be really, in my personal opinion, looking for any big reversals here. Because I think we'll just slowly climb up to the high time frame draw liquidity today. And gold, I would not be taking any trades here. Price is very slow. The ranges are very small. You don't want to be taking trades when the ranges are small like this. You want to be taking trades. I tell you guys this a lot of times in the stream because I want to re-emphasize how important recognizing price action is. This is why you need a little bit of screen time at least to help your win rate. Like, this is really good. So like if I was to rate the ranges here to trade, meaning when I see this range here, taking a short after I see this range build up like this is A++. This here is probably like A, right? Because you can see there's a difference between how price delivered this range. And I talk about price delivery in depth in the course because it matters. How price delivers does matter towards your PY. It will affect your win rate. No matter how good your entry model is, it doesn't matter if you can't recognize this. So in my journal back then, I'll basically be like, damn, I missed out on an 11 risk reward, bro. But it's all good. It's all good. If I was a journalist, honestly, I would have to basically look on the other time frames. What I would put in my journal would be, look, we have a 30-minute imbalance right above here, and 30-minute PY is above here, so I should be at least targeting the 30-minute here above that high. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and we do get that mitigation cycle, but it really depends. But typically when price trends like heavy and we have a clear draw, it tends to not really give you that mitigation cycle too often. It happens at times, but not too often. More often than not, we get manipulation legs and internal continuations. Let's see what ES is doing. Did ES hit anything here? I think I did. So ES hit here. Oh, why did I set alert there? ES hit this level right here to the tick. So there's another opportunity we can scalp a short, and it worked out. As you can see, we had an SMT here internally with NQ. I peeped that literally earlier here. But that would have been another scalp. So there's still good trades to be taken here today, man. Like I said, it says for me, the best trades were earlier on in the day during kill zone here. We can see we hit it to the tick. You had a nice entry model here. If you're using an entry model I teach in a course, there's different ones that played out here. With what I can see right now, your entry would be here, your stop loss there, and then your TP would be, if you want to target internal structure, it's there. If you are looking for external structure, I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be like down here, right? So that would have been a trade. Either you get the 6 risk reward or you just get the 4 risk reward. Still a 2 risk reward difference, 50% difference, but that's up to you how you want to really, just don't get too greedy. You know, when you have trend days, you kind of want to avoid taking counter status like this. And if you were to take them, just go for scalps, because those are actually high probability. You just scalp, right? Direction and draw liquidity does not matter as much for scalping than it is if you're looking for like entire move, like how I trade. I usually trade looking for that entire expansion. So this entire expansion is what I'm catching, right? I'm avoiding these losses here based on what I teach in a course, and I'm catching this expansion. There's people that are dumb, or they don't know how to trade. They don't have backtest data. They don't know that stuff like this does not work often, and they take losses there shorting instead of knowing how structure actually works in the market. I tried alone poker and played for a year, but luckily I found trading and realized poker is definitely not for me. There's similarities, but also a lot of differences. Poker has a lot more variance and variables. I feel like, yeah, I guess. The thing is with poker, I feel like it's harder to, I don't know enough poker to say this, but I generally feel like it's a lot harder to get an edge in poker than trading. Because a lot of poker is psychology. I'm not saying a lot of trading is not psychology, but psychology like literally ties directly to your edge in poker versus it doesn't here at all in trading. Like my edge when I backtest has nothing to do with my psychology. But in poker, like psychology, you can utilize psychology as an edge over your opponents, right? I have a friend that plays poker, so he kind of told me about this stuff and how he experienced it. But essentially, like you need to have like a mental advantage over your opponent and be able to find ways to read your opponent and what they're about to do next. It's kind of like chess, is what I've been told. So there's definitely, I feel like a lot more psychological aspect that actually ties into edge in poker. They're not so much in trading, because in trading, edge is just edge, psychology is psychology. I have them as two separate entities. You need to master both. But yeah, for sure. Could you guys imagine, like, back then, before I knew all this knowledge in trading, I would be the type of trader to be shorting the entire day. Like, I would for sure be shorting. Back then, without my current knowledge, I'd probably be shorting this, going for this, shorting this, going for this. I'd probably take like 3 losses in a row, shorting this, trying to go for this, taking another loss. But now that I understand the market much clearer, based on my understanding of what I teach, A lot more wins. A lot more wins. My win rate this month, I have to check, but I think it's above like 70% this month. I'm not taking too many losses this month. Compared to last month, which I took a bit more losses, this month, not too many losses for me. Because I focus on A plus setups, right? A plus or A setups, and with a clear draw, the draw is much clearer this month, going for the highs, right? Because we actually have the volatility to back up going for those highs. You cannot really have, if you have a good draw on liquidity, but there's no volatility in volume backing up the move towards that draw on liquidity, it's kind of useless because pricing just chop for an hour and not actually get closer to your draw on liquidity or towards your target. So then it's just like you're just trading in pure chop. When I see something like this on a lower time frame, I'll just switch to a higher time frame, right? Like if you're on the 1 minute and it looks choppy, you want to switch time frames here. Like, so if I was still trying to trade here on gold, I'd be on the 5 minute, just looking for the setup, see if I can get a 5 minute fractal setup right here, which there is. Actually, no, there isn't. Oh, got close. It got close to the stop hunter setup on the 5 minute there. I probably won't use that low. I probably use that low there, but. New York Stock Exchange or CNBC said investors are not bullish enough on the stock market rally. What? I don't keep too much up to date, guys, with fundamentals, to be honest, because, dude, I think fundamentals, a lot of the news articles at least, are misleading. I remember, like, if you guys remember, when the market already tanked a lot, there's news outlets that were saying like, oh, you know, Goldman Sachs or whatever bank or institutions are like selling out the positions, anticipation for like a bigger crash or whatnot. And then that's literally when people were saying to sell, or everyone online was, an outlet, media outlets were saying to sell. Guess what happened? The market started pumping, and that was the low of the market. So it's just like, I don't key up to date too much with fundamentals. I know a bit, but I don't key up to date too much. I don't think you guys should either. Technicals is all you need to become profitable in day trading. You don't need fundamentals at all. Oh, what's up, Stampede? How's it going? I really want to learn, but there's so much bad information on the internet. I agree with you. You should check out the WAP. So if you just go to my website and check out my WAP, I have resources on there. If you're brand new to trading, I'd recommend you join the free Discord. I have like free trading resources in there to help you guide you in the right direction. But it is very basic. It doesn't go over much my strategy, to be honest. But if you really want to learn like the right things, you try out the free Discord. Go through the channels. There's a Q&A in the free Discord that I literally built for you guys to help you guys out for free. It's called Trading FAQ. It's questions where literally I answer commonly asked questions in trading. So how long did it take me to become profitable? What time frames did I trade? What indicators I use? What profit frames to use? How much money you need to get started? All the basic beginner questions. I answer them all in there. And then there's also the free course. I actually fixed the WAP today. So the free course is actually included in the, what's it called? Discord. It's called Free Discord Access Plus More. WAP fixed the glitch. So now you can get or check out the free beginners guide that I made. It's like 10 to 20 hours long. It's a little long for a beginner's course, but I do have that in there on the WAP. But if you want to learn my like actual strategy and the entire thing, once you got the foundations done, I'd highly recommend you get the advanced course right now before I keep increasing prices, because I'll be increasing prices from time to time for that. And that basically covers over my entire strategy from A to Z. You'll learn everything on how exactly I trade. Basically, all the trades taken today were using my strategy. I only trade my strategy. I don't trade like multiple strategies in terms of from other people and such. I only trade what I know works, and that's what I trade every day. So, like for example, this last year break even, and then today I took 3 winners back to back to back on NQ, and then a break even on ES that later became a winner. But I break even early today, and it's all good. But these are just examples of proof of my strategy working. Members have their own back testing as well. If you want to just check out Control F, the Discord server, you can find proof of evidence that my strategy works. I also have a bot that I've made that trades my strategy, and it's also proven to work across 5,769 trades. So you can really check that out. But again, just overall conclusion, I highly recommend you do check out the advanced 100 or course while it's still currently at the current price to basically get access to my entire strategy. And you don't need to learn, once you get the course, advanced course, you don't need to learn anything else. So if you learn a lot of other BS stuff that didn't work at all, ignore and completely like disassociate all that from your brain, right? You need to clear away bad habits, either that psychologically, but also bad information. There's too much noise nowadays with the internet. There's a lot of information on the internet now, but it also comes with a lot of noise, right? And I recommend to all the people that buy my course, you don't need anything else to become profitable. All you need is yourself being disciplined and just sticking to my course and just taking the trades that I tell you to take in the strategy. I also post my trade ideas in the course members only chat as well, and you can use those as alignment to help you take your own live trades. But for the most part, it's very mechanical. Like for example, the setups today, these are all 100% mechanical setups. There's no discretion here, right? So I'd highly recommend, like I said, go through the course, bat test, get yourself confidence from bat testing, and then just go live trade with it, and then you'll be profitable. Because when you take my course, I don't want you guys coming in with other knowledge. There's no need to have other knowledge before taking a course, right? It goes through everything. I want you guys to have a good solid foundation that has no noise, because the more noise you have, the more confusion you will get. And trust me, because I used to know this when I traded multiple strategies at once, it doesn't work that way. You're going to have one strategy is going to tell you go short here, one strategy is going to tell you go long here. So which one do you pick, right? And the able always to distinguish this is literally using my strategy that I've optimized across thousands of trades, where now I know the probability of this strategy playing out is so much higher than this other strategy. And over time, I use that same strategy, and it's been going very well now. So again, I would recommend just check out the WAP. My bot obviously just send it there if you want to check it out and join. You should really Mike said you should really stick to one thing for a long period of time. Yeah. Some people also strategy hop too quick. You want to give something at least, I'd say like a month to 3 months. By 3 months, if it doesn't work still, I'm not gonna lie, you should probably switch strategies. If I never switch strategies also though, I never would be profitable where I am right now. Because my old strategies I used to trade, when I started trading, none of them actually worked. Like no matter how good my discipline was sticking to it, it didn't work. So like your discipline, I really don't like to preach psychology too much, like I said on this channel. Psychology is overrated in my opinion. I understand how quants, they don't care about psychology because they're not mainly trading, they're using a bot. But point is, you want to think like a quant trader or traders that use bots, because that tells you need an edge first. Before the psychology, you need an edge and a strategy that's backtested to work over different market conditions, because some strategies can work for, like, let's say consolidation periods, but then they stop working when we have expansion. We only have an hour until market close here today. I hope you guys took these trades. For those that are also on the free YouTube live stream here today, no trades caught out on today's live for free. But if you were in the course and you're one of the course members, you would have seen the trades I posted and sent to the course members only chat. And if you just use my bias and align with yours, you would have made money today. I caught out in the private trading group this strong liquidity on gold. I said we're going higher on gold. I said I took a stop hunter here on gold. And Brian, one of the course members, TP'd here. I hit break even. And I said, if you're scalping, you can scalp for just quick scalps. I called this forward sword trade out. This is very mechanical. Even if you took this loss, let's say you took a loss here, right? Going for a big target, that's okay. Because if you just use my strategy again, you get the entry model right here with the indicators. That's 4R right there. This trade itself, this short itself covers this loss here plus 3. So you'll be up 3 risk reward. Or it covers this loss plus 4. So you'll be up 3 risk reward. And then you can just end your day there. Some people overcomplicate trading to the point where, like, they realize, damn, you know, I want to trade the entire day. You don't need to trade the entire day to become consistently profitable. You don't. I typically trade like the first 3 hours because that's kill zone timing. You get the best volume, the best fills. So I like to trade the first 3 hours. After that, things get a little bit more iffy, slower price action. We're just slowly climbing here. For example, there's no trades here really for the most part, unless you got the initial bottom. But yeah, you can see, like, I end my day once I realize that I'm either satisfied with the day or I realize the price action is telling me basically, I honestly go focus on price, right? If price action goes bad, you stop trading. Try not to trade based on P&L. I probably shouldn't have said what I said earlier. It's not a good advice for most people. But yeah, don't trade based on your P&L decision, or stop trading based on your P&L. Stop trading based on market conditions and what the chart is telling you based on your own strategy. So my strategy is telling me at this point, there's no setup for me to take, right? My draw on liquidity is up here. And unless I can find internal continuations to that, I'm done for the day. I will, Stampede said, I will check it out. Thank you so much. No problem, Stampede. I think my plan is by the end of 2025, I'm probably going to price the course like 1,000-ish. So I'd recommend you guys, if you're interested, you should start now and learn while you still can, because the longer you delay your learning, the longer it's gonna take you to become profitable, obviously, duh. Because I don't want you guys spending money on like buying accounts or challenge accounts or fund accounts if you can't trade, right? Because that's like the same thing as going to a casino. Okay, it's not the entire same thing because casinos are rigged, regardless whether you're good or bad at gambling. There's no shame really there, but you want to be learning first, then taking these challenges. Or if you're trading personal like me, trade it personal. But you don't want to be spending that money on depositing. There was a dude in the stream. His name was, what was his name? It was like Happy Life Co. or something. I don't think he's in a Discord, but we had like a discussion a few streams ago with some people also in the stream. And basically this discussion was entailing that, oh, also if you guys have questions, if you're in a free Discord and you just want to hop on voice, I'm in the live stream channel in a free Discord server if you just want to ask questions live. But basically, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say he was basically telling me he was struggling because he spent 12K on evals, and then he bought like 280 evaluation accounts, and I'm just like, after 280 evaluation accounts, if you can't get not even one payout, you gotta stop. You should have stopped a long time ago. Like, if you can't get a payout within 20 evals, even 10, I'd recommend you should stop and figure out what's wrong. Otherwise, you're actually throwing money out the window the more you're spending time, because time does not correlate to consistency or results in trading. It just doesn't, right? I used to spend 16 hours a day sitting in a chair thinking it's benefiting my life, and I realized I'm just wasting my time trying to trade these evals and not getting anything out of it, or trading my personal and not getting anything out of it, until I really locked in, said, you know what, let me buy some courses. I wouldn't suggest buying everyone's course, obviously, but I bought some courses, and then the other half of my trading system came from experience. I started actually taking trading seriously and not like as a hobby, meaning I started journaling every single trade I took. I started looking for things on a chart from a technical analysis perspective, no fundamentals here, on why this trade lost. There's ways you can figure out why trades lose and why trades win, but that's knowledge you need to get from experience and journaling. Otherwise, you wouldn't know. Some people say you can mentally journal. I completely go against that. You cannot mentally journal trading. It just doesn't work like that. You just can't mentally. Are you gonna be able to remember the past 200 trades you took? No. Mattis said all-time highs is 22742. According to my chart, we are in all-time highs. Then will be some TV bug. Oh wait, hold on. I hit this. Mattis hit NQ. Hit the adjust for contract changes. Maybe it might be that. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, no, I mean you're wrong. Sorry, you're wrong. We're not at all-time highs. Hit the auto adjust for contract changes. That basically converts it from the raw price to actual like price that everyone else is looking at. So just hit that and it'll auto adjust it so the contract is set properly. Because yeah, we're not at all-time highs yet. Because if you just Google, we're not at all-time highs. So futures, you have to auto roll your contracts or have this set and then it'll auto adjust it properly to the right actual price. So no, we're not at all-time highs yet. We are very close though. We are very close. And there might be a glitch on Google too. Hold on. Let's see. So the thing is, it is kind of weird, guys, right? Because if you go online and look up NASDAQ 100, we're actually already past all-time highs. So we actually already hit all-time highs. But if you're trading futures, which is what I trade, you have to have this set. So I go off this. So we're not at all-time highs yet. Yeah, you just always have this. Just make sure to always have that enabled. I had it enabled back then, and I guess it somehow got disabled by accident. I probably hit it by accident, and then now I recently enabled it again. So I get like the accurate pricing for the future contracts. But like for example, it doesn't affect how you trade. But yeah, definitely better to have that enabled. But yeah, it is kind of weird, because if you look up Nasdaq 100 online, it's at all-time highs. So, but if we were actually, I think everyone else is actually looking at the adjusted contracts though, because if we were at all-time highs, we would have news articles talking about it. And if we go on like news articles from Wall Street, posting from the Wall Street, it says S&P within inches from recording new all-time high. So not at all-time highs, but we're close. This is a fun time, man. It's a fun time trading all-time highs. I honestly think trading all-time highs is easier to trade. Well, to be fair, before it's going to be the same thing as if you were trading back here, because the draw was clear for all-time highs here. So once we break all-time highs, we're just going to create a new internal structure down the daily candle to even go even higher, right? So it's going to be a very interesting time. I am very curious. One thing I'm very curious right now is how far are we going to go past all-time highs on the first initial pump? So on the first daily candle, I'm very curious. I can't wait because I'm actually excited. Not only because I also have a long-term account, but I'm just in general excited to see truly how much the market can actually pump this time above all-time highs, because last times when we pumped above all-time highs, there was a different situation. This time it's because of tariffs, and this times when we pumped above all-time highs with this crash, this is the fastest recovery ever since COVID, right? Because COVID, I believe, if I'm not wrong, we had a 28% crash. This is almost 28% down here, but we had a 60 to 9 day recovery here, beating the record for COVID. So I'm very curious to see how far this time we go above all-time highs. It's going to be very interesting. What do you guys think? Because look, if we go on ES, let's disable this. Yeah, if you disable an ES and you don't auto adjust, we're already at all-time highs. Psalm, my chart shows different. If you're trading, I don't know what you're trading, Psalm, but if you're trading futures, you have to have the auto adjust for contract changes enabled. But I trust the news articles right now, because if everyone concurrently agreed we were at all-time highs, we would have people on the news talking about we just broke all-time highs, but we haven't. There's no news articles right now saying we broke all-time highs. All they're saying right now is we were close. $5,000, $6,000. So on CNBC, it's not all-time highs yet. Nvidia recently broke all-time highs. So that's cool. Mike said, would you prefer gold futures GC1 over XAUSD? It doesn't matter, Mike. They're both gold. They both move the same way. So it doesn't matter. But if you're trading futures, you're supposed to be trading GC, because that's the futures contract for gold. Again, like I said, assets really don't matter, guys. Okay? Strategy works on every asset that's liquid. The specific asset really does not matter. The only difference is volatility. If you like hitting TPs quicker, trade gold. If you like hitting TPs also quick, trade NQ. If you want something slower, trade ES. In terms of reading price action and trading strategies, all the exact same. I trade gold the exact same way I trade ES, exact same way I trade NQ, exact same way I trade Euro USD when I was trading Forex, and the exact same way I trade crude oil. And in my journal, if you guys want, you can check out the private trading journal on my WAP, but it has 600 trades I've taken. And if you just look at the stats breaking down, it's basically the same win rate and risk reward average. So the win rate average is about 65%, and the risk reward average is about 3.6. And this month, my win rate has, I think, hit 70% now, because this month has been really good. So there's not a huge discrepancy, really. Because some people, I think some people ask this question. Well, not everyone. Some people question this just because they're like, if I'm not profitable trading gold, maybe I should just trade ES. And my answer to that is really, it's not going to work like that. You're likely, very likely, you're going to be unprofitable trading everything else. Because the foundation of how the market moves as a whole, it's an auction. So you guys can look into market auction theory, but the premise essentially is that the market is just an auction, right? And auctions, for the most part, naturally, they just move like this. This is just how it moves. Now, that's a whole different story. If you're trading meme coins, don't trade those. Stampede said, yeah, I've been learning a lot of ICT, been doing better backtesting, but still not good enough. I used to play poker professionally. Oh, wow, nice. But I want to switch to trading. That's sick. You might have to reach out to me, Stampede, about that. That's actually interesting. It's not common to find someone that that plays poker professionally, I feel like that's very rare. I know more people that trade than play poker. But to be fair, at the same time, that's because of the industry I'm in. So I can't really say that, but you get the point. That's actually really interesting, playing poker professionally. Huh. When you say still not good enough, are you talking about your backtesting stats? Like, yeah, if your backtesting stats are not profitable or it's like barely profitable, it's not going to work when you live trade because emotional damage, emotional human mistakes, you have to factor that in when you're trading live. So yeah, that wouldn't work. You want something good. And a lot of people that come to me that join the course and such, they've already learned SMC and ICT concepts. But the problem with those and ICT concepts is that it's too broad, it's too generalized. There's no mechanical fundamental system of understanding price built into it. Like step A, step B, step C, step 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, right? There's no like checklist that I have. For example, I have a checklist for my entry criteria and confluences to distinguish between A+ setups versus low probability setups that you want to maybe avoid or just scalp, different ways to manage your trade. ICT concepts is more so just like a general broad understanding of the market, not something very specific, in my personal opinion, where you can just convert it straight to a strategy itself. You would have to combine a lot of things, and that's what I kind of do here. But I've only seen a little bit of ICT stuff. A lot of my courses that I bought in the past were SMC. They weren't like ICT, they were SMC. And then later I basically put half of the knowledge I learned from courses and the other half from backtesting and experience in journaling, and I put it all into one system. Yeah, you just have to hit the auto adjust thing. It's kind of, honestly, it's pretty dumb. Don't know why they have that, honestly. Not sure. Because if you have it disabled, it's raw price. And futures is also centralized, so I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really affect how I trade anyway. So to me, it doesn't make a difference. We have a 5-minute stop under setup playing out right now, and yes. I don't think we hit the draw yet. We did not hit the draw yet. We had 30 minutes. We could actually hit the draw. It's not crazy far away. The last 15 minutes of the market, we get the most volume, so we'll see. But to me, this all looks like trend line liquidity right now. We can run a few highs and go lower, or we run all the highs here. But that's what it looks like to me. Trend line liquidity right here. So if you're taking my stop hunter setup, you'd be in this trade right here, and your stop can be here, and then you just target the high, or whatever else you want to target. If you want to scalp, you're TP'd. If you want to just target the high, there it is. If you're wondering what the setup is, it's a setup I only teach in a course and mentorship. So if you want to learn it, what it is from a mechanical standpoint, I'd recommend you check out the course. Channel has been growing very fast recently, or my channel has been growing very fast recently. Not sure what it is, because I've been posting for like 2 years on YouTube, but we're almost at 10.5K, or a little bit more, halfway there. All about consistency, I guess. Same thing with trading, guys. You got to be consistent in your own trading. You can't just take a break and stop and then come back, take a break, stop. You want to keep it, maintain it continuous. There's only so much you can learn in a single given day, but try to just be 1% better every day. And 1% better every day, just do the math. Over a year, you'll be thousands% of times better by the end. So, okay, just keep that in mind. Try to have that mindset of just being 1% better every day. It's going to help you out a lot in your trading. It will. It truly will. You'll be 37 times better. There's also someone that joined the course 2 days ago. Because I can see y'all's progress bar. And it was honestly, I was astonished. Because the dude completed, let me pull it up right now, actually, and show you guys. The dude completed like almost half the course in like 3 days. I was like, dude, that's a record. That's not happened. Because the course is like, last time I checked, it's 57 hours long. Not trying to overwhelm you guys. You don't have to watch the entire course to be profitable, because I only have one session that covers my entire strategy. But that's including like trade recaps and everything. But yeah, it's definitely comprehensive. I'll tell you that for a fact. I am profitable back testing, but not by much. What's your EV? Oh, there we go. Stampede. So someone told me the other day on stream that EV is extremely relevant in poker. So what's your EV from your back testing? You probably know what that is. So poker is very stressful and you get a lot of drawdowns. That part of mental is very similar to trading. I would say poker is more painful. How much live trading have you done, Stampede, though? Trading like live money? Because obviously you're not going to have psychology issues in backtesting. Is anyone else, or not anyone else, is anyone in the Stop Hunter setup here that's in a course that did take this? Again, I didn't take this trade. This is just an idea here of a mechanical entry model I would use from my trading course I teach you guys to use. The only problem is we are high in the leg, so I usually don't take this and risk these personally on my own account. But this is something that you can take, like if you're on a funded account or something, this is something you can just take. Or like a eval or something like that. This would just be like a trade you can just randomly take. Not randomly, but you guys know what I mean. So lower probability stuff you can just take. All we can hope for, if we can hit the draw, would just be the last 15 minutes, to be honest, with the market on NQ. When you get a drawdown, it can last for months even when you play perfectly. Damn. That makes sense. Because your drawdown in poker, it relies on how good other players are, right? Because technically in trading, it doesn't matter at all how good other people are trading. Because the market, when you're trading, it's just you versus yourself. If you think about it. I started trading live a month ago. I have yeah, that's bad. Yeah, it's bad. 40% I just wanted to. Yeah, it's not good. If you guys want to calculate your EV as well, use my website. I have it just mathematically calculate for you guys for free. But that's at 0.20, and that's equivalent to, I already have the EV numbers in my head memorized. 0.2 EV is the same EV as a system at 60% at 1-to-1. So if you're trading like prop firms, that's still profitable. But if you're trading a personal account, if you're going to factor in spread, if you're trading Forex, if you're going to factor in commissions, it's going to cut into that EV. But the main thing is it's not worth your time to really trade a system with that low of an edge. It's just not. You'd rather spend that time optimizing the strategy or finding something that works better and then trading that new thing instead to save yourself a lot of that pain and time. Because to me, it's just not worth trading something with a low EV and spending time, trading it. I'd rather just spend that time learning something different or new or something to implement to my system to improve it and then trade that new system and make so much more money or returns proportionally to my risk. But yeah, one of our members, Ali, in the course, he did post his back test of my strategy. He's been in the course for about 2-3 weeks now. If you guys can just Control F in the free Discord, you can find it. But let me find again. His stats were across 100 trades, 44 winners. He got 45 break evens, 44 winners, 45 losses. 13 break-even trades. His win rate with my trading strategy is at 49% at 2.76 risk reward. So yeah, it is better than your current 40% at 1-to-2. Or I assume you mean 1-to-2, not 2-to-1, right? Risk to reward is what I go by, but yeah. So the win rate, the risk reward is 50% better, and then the win rate's 10%. 10% difference on a win rate is actually a big difference, guys. Like, if you go on an EV calculator, do 50% win rate at 1-to-2. It's more than double your EV. Therefore, that means after risk-adjusted returns, you're doubling your risk to reward that you're making just by a 10% win rate increase. So 10% is a huge difference in your win rate over the long run, guys. Obviously, in a short run, if you're just taking 10 trades, that means nothing. But yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, man, it is massive. I used to think 10% is not massive, dude, at my win rate. So when I was backtesting, or not backtesting, when I was optimizing my strategy a long time ago, I was like, damn, I only improved my win rate by 10%. And I was like, dude, that kind of sucks. After all the work I put in, it only increased by 10%. But then I realized the EV changed substantially with the 10% win rate increase. So I was like, oh, I actually doubled the results of my trading strategy with the 10% win rate increase. Because if you guys don't know, when I started trading this strategy a few years ago, my win rate for backtesting was about 45%. So 40 to 45%. If you include break-even system, it's about 45%-ish to 50. And the risk-reward average was 4. So it was still a very good system, don't get me wrong, but the win rate was kind of low for me. And psychologically, I kind of wanted something with less drawdown, I'm going to be honest. So later when I optimized it, I got to 50%, 55%, and now it's at like 65% to 70% optimized right now with my trading strategy. And the risk-reward average has gone down slightly now. It's about a 3.6, 3 to 3.6 risk-reward right now, average for me. So it has gone down a bit. But I'm fine with that, knowing that my win rate has gone up so many more, like substantially higher, and I sacrificed only a little bit of risk reward, so I was okay with it. And also, it has a benefit of psychology. I can take a lot more winning trades in a row, and my losing streak. The thing that a lot of people don't have a problem with is their losing or winning streak. No one has a problem with winning a lot in a row, but a lot of people have a problem with losing a lot in a row. And when you lose a lot of trades in a row, That's when the psychology aspect hits, and emotional mistakes can really damage your P&L. I know someone was actually in gold longs here in the chat here. I hope you closed. Like I said, I mean, I told you guys or whoever was in a gold long that you should probably close. Price is moving very slow. It's not ideal conditions to really trade anymore. So I don't know where you entered, but hopefully you close in profit here and not close down here, because you basically lost out on P&L. And then this is just a trade I've drawn out. I'm not taking any more trades here, guys, today. I'm done trading today. But this is just a setup that I would be taking, for example, on like an eval or a funded account, just for fun. It's a lower probability setup, so it's not something I'd usually like to take on my personal account. But if you guys just joined, are new, check out the free Discord, check out the WAP. You get access to my entire strategy in the 100 Sword course. Free Discord has a lot of free training resources. And then also you have access to my indicators on the chart right here for sale on the WAP. And then I have the trading private trading journal. And then you get all that for free, by the way, if you get the one-on-one mentorship. So for the one-on-one mentorship, there's only one spot left. So whoever gets that spot is going to be taken until a new spot gets opened up later. But for now, only one spot left for that. And the bonus and new value added for the private trading mentorship, I didn't change prices. I basically added something new or more to it. You get lifetime access to all the indicators I use now, which is a lot. And then you also get lifetime access to the journal, which you already did get access to previously back then. You get lifetime access to all the courses, which is the beginners, which is free already, so it doesn't matter. But you get access to the advanced course included. And last but not least, the main thing is you get weekly 1-hour lessons where we go over your trades. I try to help you refine your system as well, help you change the way you view the markets to fit how I view the markets to improve your probability. We're going to work on improving your win rate. We're going to work on improving your risk reward and all sorts of things to help you, not only psychologically, because that's not something I like to focus too much on trading. I like to focus on the technicals. So invalid trades, good trades, bad trades. We'll filter all of that out in basically the mentorship calls. Yeah, that's Stampede said, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Backtesting, trying to improve and get little percentages every time. Yeah, for sure. How many trades did you backtest, Stampede? You probably are really familiar with the statistical side. I mean, it's not like advanced statistics either. It's just like you need a good sample size, to verify something. And if you're trying to improve the win rate of a strategy, you want to have at least like 100 more trades taken so that the win rate percent difference of the 10% is not due to, I forgot what the exact name of the statistical law is. I believe it's called I think it's just called like let me look it up. It's something randomness. But basically you just don't want it to be completely random based on randomness. I think this is called law of randomness. Yeah, you don't want that to happen, right? So you obviously need a good sample size. I had 4,000 trades back tested for my strategy. You guys obviously don't need that. That's also including optimization trades. So you obviously don't need that many trades to be profitable. But that's what I did so I can grow my accounts faster. I can make more money and spend less time later on when I live trade now. Thank you for subscribing, Max DOP 90. Again, if you guys are not subbed, turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss these streams. I try to do these streams at least once a week. It's something I recently started like last month. So we'll see how they go. We'll see how many people join and such and find value in these free streams. Ali said, winning a lot in a row can lead to winners tilt, which happened to me in poker a lot. Oh, really? You can tilt after winners? Or... I never, for me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I never really made like tilting like after winners. Usually it's like losers I tilt if it's too many losers in a row. But like winners, I just stay calm and just wait for the next trade. Or I just close out. Usually like if I have a lot of winners like today, I can just call it a day early too. Like today we traded my strategy and system with everyone at a 75% win rate, right? 3 winners here and then 1 loss, and then the break evens are neutral trades. They both hit TP, but I broke even on them personally. I assume you just mean you get greedy, but to me, it never. My mind works a little differently, so I guess it never really happened to me too often, at least for tilting after green trades. It's more so like losing. Stampede said, "Well, I have like 200 trades over a year. I think your 4K is a bit better." Well, well, it's not just a bit. I wouldn't say it's a bit better. It's a huge difference. 200 and 400 is a huge difference in sample size. But if you're talking about like statistical significance, it's not at a certain number point. It's not gonna make a huge difference. It's only gonna be like a 1% or 2% standard error difference, in really your win rate. So like if you're bad testing 1,000 trades versus 4,000 trades, isn't really gonna do you too much, to be honest. But like I said again, my total is 4,000 trades because I was also doing optimization on it. So that kind of added more to it. But yeah, 200 trades over a year. There's 252 active trading days a year. So you're taking basically about 1 trade a day. Yeah, winners tilt happens in poker as well. So I wouldn't be surprised in trading. Oh, I see what you mean now. I could definitely see how you can tilt a lot easier in poker, like winning. I see. Because you can basically, right? You can just like bet more money on the next hand or whatever, right? Because you have profits to play with. You kind of say the same for trading, but for me, I'd never do that. So I just keep a consistent risk. So to me, that's just not even a thing. But I could definitely see that in poker for sure. I think like in poker, it's also easier to distinguish. Wait, how would you? The thing is, okay, in poker, how would you like tilt aside from increasing leverage? Is there really another way to tilt? Because in trading, there's bad trades. There's also good trades. There's invalid versus valid trades. In poker, is there such thing as like you making an emotional decision that's not related to your position sizing? That's like from a edge perspective. Because like for example, in trading, if you tilt, you're just taking, most likely you're over leveraging and taking a random trade. Can you take random decisions in a sense? Can you make random decisions in poker like that? Like, do people make random decisions in poker, or is there still some edge behind it? Because, like, I'm talking about when you're tilting. Because, like, in trading, for example, for me, it's almost the same as overconfidence. Okay. And trading means taking bad setups because of thinking everything works. St. Pete said, you play bad cards at the bad time. Doing bad plays, trying to make your opponent fold his hand at a very awful spot. So you're saying like emotionally, because you're on tilt, you purposely play bad cards? Can't you, but I'm trying to think, can't you just play good cards? Like, wait, why would you, I'm trying to understand like why would you play bad cards, I guess, because here's one difference I noticed in trading is that trading requires patience in terms of you have to wait for that next good setup to take a good setup. In trading, because you require more patience, I feel like you have to. It's a lot easier to force bad decisions in the meantime, if that makes sense. Because like in bad testing, you can just skip candles and such. But like in trading live, you can't really do that, or you can't do that. And so, like you're a lot more prone to just making this bad decisions. Because in poker, isn't it? Don't you just take turns? So like, you can't really force like yourself to take too many like decisions, right? In poker, because like in trading, for example, I can make 20 bad trading decisions right now in under a minute, right? Let's say, for example, I take 10 bad trades. Okay, let's make it more realistic. I take 10 bad trades, 10 random trades out of my edge in trading in 10 minutes. Like in poker, you're limited to that, right? Like you're limited to only taking a certain number of decisions, if I'm not mistaken. While in trading, you have unlimited freedom to do whatever you want in trading. Trading, I don't need to wait for anyone. I could do whatever I want. I can take as many trades as I want. There's like in trading, the problem with trading is there's no limitations on trading. That's why I feel like a lot of people also fail. Could you imagine if in trading, like your boss was looking over you right now and saying, I'm going to fire you if you take one random trade? I bet you the percent of profitable traders is going to go from 90% failing to or 10% profitable consistently to probably like 30%, maybe 2 to 3 times increase. I think the other reason why it's not going to increase too significantly is also because a lot of traders also don't have a proven system that works over the long run. So obviously it's not going to matter if they fix that psychology part. For those that just join the free Discord. I have it pinned. If you're interested in my strategy, I have it also shown on the stream link. And then here, I'll show you something interesting here, guys. Let me see if I can get this, because last time I tried to paste it, and dude, it said image too big. Bro. Are you serious? Let me try this method. But my EV currently with my training system, especially this month, my stats have been really good. It's like almost 70% win rate. My risk score is like 3-ish average. My EV right now is like 1.8 this month. So it's really good so far this month. Oh, here it is. There we go. Now it's working. Let me delete this and zoom this out. So this is a bot I made. I know you guys have seen this before if you're not new to the channel. If you're new to the channel, this is a bot I made based on my trading strategy. It doesn't trade my entire strategy perfectly, so that's why the profit factor is not as good. The win rate's not as good as my manual trading. It's 43% instead of 65-ish. But you can see the max drawdown to the total P&L ratio is a huge ratio difference. So this is what you're really looking for in bots. This ratio here, and it's a really good system here. The equity curve is very smooth, not huge peaks or valleys, but what's up, Chris? I guess you're new here. Are you profitable? If so, yes, I am profitable. And do you prove it? Yeah. If you go to WAP, I have payout proof on there. I also have proof in the free Discord. If you join a free Discord, I've given trade callouts in there for free. You can go also watch the live streams back if you want. I'm very transparent on them. You can watch all live streams. I've done like 15 live streams so far, and like 10 of them, or about 6 of them, I believe, I've taken live trades and called them out. I really called out 2 winners yesterday and 1 loser. So you can just go back and watch those in live time of me taking those trades. And then if you join the free Discord, there's a lot of proof in there as well. And then here on the chart here in the trading view, this is just a proof of my strategy being objectively working across 5,000 trades. If you need more proof, there's really no other more proof I can provide here, to be honest. Like, this is as much proof as anyone has ever given out online. 5,679 trades is insane. I'm trying to read the chat here. Give me a second. Yes, in poker you need patience as well, but when you are playing good and running good, you get overconfident. Okay, makes sense. That's where you make mistakes. Same thing with trading. Ali said, yeah, if your normal starting hand range is 25% and you go on winners, tilt, and start opening 40%, you can be in a bad situation quickly. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. I don't think I'm ever going to try professional poker. But that does sound very cool. That is very cool, Stampede, that you professionally play poker. That's actually sick. I think it's very very uncommon. Hold on, percent of professional poker players versus traders. Because the success rate for day trading, I think is around 10%. It varies from broker to broker. They all report different numbers, but if you average out from all the sources, it's about 10%. Like, some brokers report 20% success for day trading. Some report 10%. There's some websites that only report 5%. So you just average them out, it's going to be about 10% that make it in trading. It says online, do you know the stat for poker? Online it says around 5%. Not sure how accurate that stat is, but I just needed some baseline to go off of. But yeah, the success rate is very low for both industries, and it makes sense. I think personally, it's a lot more consistent to have an edge in trading. Like, for example, my bot here, trading my strategy. This is objectively proving my strategy works over the long run. Like 5,600 trades. I think in poker you probably have a lot more drawdown peaks, right? I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're the professional here, but I assume you have more drawdown peaks because there's, like you said, there's a lot more variance in poker than trading. Because trading, to an extent, there's only two market conditions there really is in trading. One is continuation, expansion, and the other side is this consolidation and where prices ranges, right? And to an extent, entire market is just made of ranges. The 5 minute has a range, the 1 minute has a range, 15 minute, 30 minutes. So like it really depends on your strategy. But in trading, there's only so much in market conditions that can really affect the strategy. Hence why it's a lot easier to have something like this, right? Which is my strategy. It's a lot easier to have this good of an equity curve or clean, I'd say, because there's not as much variance in price. A lot of people may not want to admit that. They may think that's completely false, but that just truly is, it's just true, right? There's no other way for price in the market to move. Like, how else do you expect price to move? It's going to either go up or down or go sideways. Like, I don't see how any other market conditions there really is. And I've been trading for years also. Still, poker and trading is very similar. 9% of poker players are not profitable, close to traders. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And it's mostly because of the mental part. Now, since you've been trading a little bit for a month isn't really long at all for trading, but you said live. So what do you think has more mental to it? Poker professionally or trading? I honestly could see both. They both definitely require psychology. But I could see how psychology can be used like as an edge in poker. Like how you can maybe potentially like trick your opponent or something to play out a specific hand. And that could be like you can play psychological games with your opponent somehow, maybe. In trading, it's just you versus you. There's no like, I think there's more factors in poker than trading. So it seems like my stop hunter setup is that I teach in the course is playing out here. I don't think anyone here is still trading right now, but it is playing out here. So again, for those just want a sneak peek of what the stop hunter setup is just this entry here. You can use it on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, doesn't matter what time frame, but I use it on the 1 minute, or I go on the 5 minute, find a clear low. But yeah, that would be the stop hunter setup, and that would be an easy 3 risk reward there. For anyone that is trading at least. Some of you guys are offline, I see in the Discord or in the course members. Not everyone's online, so it makes sense. This is also late in the day. I don't think we're gonna hit the draw. Oh, my voice. I don't think I'm gonna hit the draw on liquidity today. We have 9 minutes left. We're not like, it's not like crazy far either, but yeah, it might not hit. But yeah, obviously I'm not gonna count this trade because this is not a trade I took, right? The trades I specifically took myself today. Break even for those that just joined. Break even -1 here. I got wicked out in the -1. I know a way to fix that, and I'll implement it into my future trading for a little bit. 5 risk reward, 1 risk reward, and a 4 risk reward. So those are all trades taken today. I called out the short here for the group, for the course members, for those that were actively looking at the chart, right? This would be a trade you'd be taking yourself regardless of even whether me posting my draw on liquidity, which was my inducement here. I was telling we could run an inducement here. Because trades like this happen very quickly and you need to make decisions quick. And if you're trading my system fully mechanically, this is an easy decision to make. And then obviously I called this trade out also on gold. I told everyone in the course that I was in a stop hunter setup. And you know, one of our members, Brian, he made money based on the setup. He held it. I didn't hold it in the sense where it hit my break even before hitting TP, but that's okay. Where did the chat go? Here's a Discord chat. The course members only private Discord chat. It's only available for people that bought the course at least or the mentorship. But yeah, Brian said he was in there with me as well. He's up on gold. No, again, hit my break even. I'm a little annoyed. I'm not gonna lie, because this was a really good trade idea. Everything on my trade strategy basically was on the checklist here. And the draw was very clear, but you know, Just hit my out break even. And then this is what Brian said. He said he's holding. I said hit another PY right before I hit the draw liquidity, and then he said, ignore the GIF, but he sent the GIF of y'all get the point. TP smacked. So you TP'd at 3340. Very close to my draw liquidity I sent out. Oh my. There's the ESTP with my strategy. Again, I did not take this trade, guys. Okay, this is just a setup you would take with my strategy. Fully mechanical. There's no discretion here for that trade. Chris said thumbs up. Okay, oh, that's answering the question for proof of probability. Yep, no problem, Chris. Variance in poker is wild. I can't be for sure since I have played poker for years. I've covered the mental part of the game, so I can't tell if I started trading first. I think it's very similar. This is what Stampede is saying, by the way. The thing is that in trading, you can leave the charts anytime you tilt. I'm gonna give a counter argument to that, but yeah. In poker, you can leave for a week and win in drawdown. Can't you go back to poker though? Oh, wait, no, you're saying in both trading and poker, you can both leave and come back. Yeah. And when you come back, you're still in the same downswing in poker. But you'd be in the same drawdown as well in trading. Unless you mean mentally, maybe it's still, unless you're saying mentally, it still affects you, like the drawdown from poker. Because I will say for sure in trading, like, if you stop for a day, let's say I'm red today, which I'm not, but let's say I'm red for today, and I say I'm gonna stop trading. If I stop and then come back tomorrow, I will agree that I don't have the tilt mindset. If I start clear tomorrow, right? The loss I took today will not affect actually how I trade tomorrow because enough time has gone by where it's a brand new day, brand new price action. So you gotta play until it's over, and it can't. Oh. So imagine trading and losing every trade for 2 months with a very good strategy. I see. Yeah. That's I will say though, a robust trading strategy won't lose for 2 months. Or, oh, you said losing every trade. Oh, you're comparing it to poker. I see what you mean. Yeah, for sure. Okay, makes sense. That is crazy. Yeah, I would be. Props to you, man. Your psychology and trading must be good, Stampede, then. I feel like it must be good. I could not handle losing every trade for 2 months. That's a lot. What? And Stampede, so you say you do this full time, right? So that means you're up in poker, I believe, right? Since you're full-time income or professional poker, I assume that's what it means. How do you even deal with that? You must have diversification, right? There's no way like all your money's in poker. Well, I have diversification myself, for example. Even though I full-time trade with a personal account, I still have money put in other assets in other places that are very safe, that generate me passive income. In poker, the variance is wild. There are weeks where you lose 80% with 80% equity all day. Damn. I will say though, walking away from trading is just not a thing for most people. Like ideally, yeah, you walk away when you go on tilt in trading, but most people that can't handle the psychology aspect, when you tilt, you just stay on the chart. I'm speaking from experience that I used to do this. I'll just sit on the chart for another 5 hours and take more trades, and eventually you blow up, you know. There's TP with my setup for 3 years reward there on the stop hunter. If you took an NQ, you also TP'd. I don't think NQ, the setup did not happen. Okay. The setup happened on yes, as you can see. If you know what I'm looking for, you know what the setup is. All the course members know what I'm looking for. The setup didn't occur on NQ, it occurred on ES. Actually, if you're on the 1 minute, it did incur on NQ, but there was this one big wick there, depending on where you place your stop loss. Again, for those that are new, join the free Discord. And if you want to learn about my strategy, you check out the WAP. Pricing for the strategy or the course will be increasing from time to time. So I would recommend, if you guys want to lock in now to learn a strategy that generally works, that has an edge, and it's not just some normal edge. This strategy has an extremely high edge. I'd recommend you check that out and see what I have to offer. Again, there's proof all across my YouTube channel. Go on my Discord, do your own research if you want. But yeah. I'm seeing if I miss any questions. But this month, price action, y'all, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Last month, not so good. I think the win rate last month was like 60 borderline. A lot of systems or a lot of edges, strategies, probably ended red last month. Mine didn't because it's very robust. I've done optimization to prepare for when price chops around, because I've traded multiple different market conditions. But for most people, if they didn't do that work, optimization, they probably did not go so well for them. Oh, this is what I was going to show y'all, bro. Should I? Okay, I'm not going to show the dude's name, because that's invasion of privacy maybe. But this is... Gotta leave now. I'll be joining Discord. All right, Stampede, I'll see you in the free Discord. Again, if you ever want to reach out, we can connect, talk about maybe poker, your experience poker. That'd be kind of cool. We talk about my professional experience with trading. You talk about your experience with poker, just to see how it is. And then if you obviously, sounds like you have very good psychology, I think you will be killing it, Stampede. If you learn my strategy and get the course, you don't even need to get the mentorship unless you want one-on-one guidance and me to hold your hand and go through your trades with you personally. But if you just go through the course, advanced course, and learn my strategy, I think you will also make a killing off of trading my strategy, because it seems like your discipline is like top tier based on what I've heard from how you're able to manage your psychology from poker. Because that's probably more drawdown than I've ever seen when I became profitable. So yeah, I hope to see you with Stampede in the course. Oh, this was what I'm gonna show you guys here, bro. This dude, my guy right here. Dude started the course 3 days ago. He's already finished 42%. That's crazy. Yeah, we'll be in touch for sure. Maybe you can even trade full time, or maybe you can even do trading and poker at once. That'd be kind of cool. Could be a way to even balance out the so-called variance when you're red in poker, or vice versa. But yeah, dude, this is crazy, dude. First time I've ever seen it. 42% course progress in 3 days. That's, dude probably did not sleep, dude. Or if you spend 12 hours a day, yeah, it'll be 42%. But yeah, that's a lot. Appreciate everyone, if you're putting in work in the course, just know that I respect it, man. That's the amount of work that I'm expecting you guys to put in if you want to take this seriously, I'm probably going to end the stream here in a bit. The market's about to close. There's nothing really in terms of price here. We did not hit the draw on liquidity here, unfortunately. Not enough volume. But again, if you took my stop setup here, this is 3 risk reward here. Again, I did not take it personally, but this is one of the trades you could have taken with my strategy. I didn't take it personally because it's too high up in a leg. It's a lower probability trade. It's not something I like to usually take. So I hope you guys do enjoy today's stream, and I hope to see you guys all in the Discord as well as in the course. Peace. Oh, peace.